Hello, I'm Joe, and I'm going to tell you a story about Patrick. Yes, all about Patrick. And no, it is not Patrick Teo. It's this Patrick, okay? Now, Patrick. This is a story about a young man called Patrick, who one day went out to buy a violin. Not a violin. It doesn't sound like that at all. In the town, the streets were full of stalls. No, not mama stalls. Stalls. No kway teow, no. One sold vegetables, one sold fish, and another sold clothes. You see, all of that. Wow, all of these stalls. They sold all those wonderful things, vegetables, clothes, all sorts of things. And Patrick was looking at all of them. He was, I almost missed the page, silly Joe. These stalls were very interesting, but Patrick did not stop until he came to the one kept by Mr. Onions. Mr. Onions. On his stall, he had a broken jug, an old lamp, a mousetrap, just in case you missed that, a mousetrap, and all sorts of things that people did not want anymore. So Patrick asked him, "Have you a violin to sell?" "You're in luck," said Mr. Onions. "I have just one." Patrick bought the violin with his only silver piece. There, see that beautiful violin? And do you see that beautiful violin? Yes, how wonderful. So, Patrick bought it, and he only had one silver piece, and that's what he spent it on, the violin. He was so pleased, so happy, he ran as fast as he could out into the fields. When he got there, he blew the dust off the violin. Wow! And then he sat down by a pond and began to play a tune. Now, as he played, the most extraordinary thing happened. One by one, the fish in the pond began to jump out and fly about in the air. Jump up, bloop, 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 bloop. They were jumped up and they flew in the air. And what's more, they were all different colours and they were singing to the music. Oh, so colourful, so colourful. And just in case you missed it, so colourful. See, so. They were all singing. They were all singing to the music. Just then, a girl and a boy came along the road. Their names were Kath and Mick. "Did you do that?" said Mick, pointing to the fish in the air. And Patrick said, "Yes." Then he played another tune, and the string tying Kath's hair turned into red ribbons, and the laces in Mick's boots turned into blue ribbons. Look, red ribbons, blue ribbons, red ribbons, and blue ribbons, just in case you didn't get it. Okay. Wow, how pretty, all those red and blue ribbons. And so, the three went down the road together. Soon, they came to an orchard of apple trees. Yummy. Do you like apples? Apples are very good for you. Patrick helped. No, he didn't help, he played. Patrick played his violin, and the leaves on the trees changed to all kinds of bright colours. Oh, such an orchard full of colours. Such an orchard full of colours. Yes, How wonderful! All those glorious colours of reds and greens and blues and yellows. Instead of apples, the trees began to grow pears and bananas and cakes and yummy ice creams and slices of hot buttered toast. Oh, yum, yum. I'm getting very hungry, are you? Kath, but if you are hungry and you're going to eat something, wash your hands first, okay? 20 seconds, hot soap and water. Hot water and soap. Kath and Mick ran about among the trees and helped themselves to whatever they liked, but they washed their hands first. As they were eating, a flock of pigeons flew down and Patrick played his violin again. The birds began to sprout bright new feathers until they were the most beautiful birds you have ever seen. Yes, Kath and Mick fed them on crumbs of chocolate cake. Wow, lucky birds eating crumbs of chocolate cake. After Patrick and the children had gone a little further, they met some cows. Moo. That's what a cow makes, right? That's the sound a cow makes. Moo. They were white with black spots. But when Patrick played his violin, the cows became covered with coloured stars and started to dance to the music. Whoa, look, all these cows dancing to the music. Coloured spots all over these cows, dancing to the music. My goodness gracious me. All because of Patrick and his playing violin. So, they all went along the road together until they met a tramp. The tramp had whiskers and a hat with a broken top where his hair poked through. He was smoking a pipe, and every time he gave a puff, sparks flew out of it. There he is, just there, sitting down with his hat, with his hair poking through the top of it, and smoking his pipe and puffing. Oh, that's a lovely tune you're playing, said the tramp. There's nothing I like better than a tune on the violin. So Patrick played even harder, and the sparks from the pipe of the whiskery tramp got bigger and brighter until they were showers of fireworks. Oh, look at that! Showers of fireworks they were. Yes, my goodness. Ah, how wonderful. On they all went along the road. It was just like a procession. Yes, one after the other. Kath and Mick with their ribbons, the fish and the birds singing, the cows dancing, the whiskery tramp puffing fireworks from his pipe, and Patrick playing on his violin. Wow, a lovely, lovely parade of all of those people doing all of those wonderful, wonderful things together. I'm getting tired, are you? You're not? Okay, I'll continue with the story. Before long, they met a tinker and his wife with a horse and cart. Look at our procession, shouted Kath. Isn't it fun? How can he enjoy it, asked the tinker's wife. He's very thin, and I don't know what to do for him. He's got a cough, and a cold, and a stomachache, and a headache. That's because he didn't wash his hands. We have to travel so slowly. I don't know how we shall get to the town before dark. Look, they didn't know how to get to town before dark. They were very, very worried. So, let me play my violin and see what happens, said Patrick. So he played a tune, and you can see what happened. The tinker started to get fatter. No, he didn't burst. He lost his cough. No more cough. And his cold. No more cold. And his stomachache. No more stomachache. And his headache. No more headache. Until he was well and smiling and happy again. That's because he washed his hands. And not only that, look what happened to his horse and cart. Look at the colourful, wow, look what happened to his horse and cart. So Carawan, so Carawan. My goodness, the tinker and his wife climbed on, and so did Patrick and Kath, and Mick, and the whiskery tramp. The fish and the birds flew above them, and the cows galloped behind. And they all got back to town before dark. Now, wasn't that a nice story? Wasn't Patrick clever with his violin to make all of those things happen? So, if you are about to go to sleep, or you're about to have a bite to eat, if you're going to have some cookies and some milk or a cup of tea, wash your hands first, okay? Bye.